And joining us now to explain the latest push for common sense gun laws, Representative Rush Holt from the great state of New Jersey. Congressman, thanks for a few minutes. I appreciate it.
Richard, good to be with you.
You know, I want to talk about the initiative you and Senators Lautenberg and McCarthy, Lautenberg and Menendez and others have done here. But what I really wanted to get into with you was first, you had President Obama saying that we as a nation need to do some soul searching to figure out where we go next on this. Mayor Bloomberg and others have said, we've heard the words and the condolences, but we need to have specifics and really leadership from the two men who want to be president. I know not to expect a lot out of Mitt Romney, given the connection with the NRA, but are you expecting more than you've heard from our president right now? We've seen Aurora, we've obviously seen the tragedy in Wisconsin and many before it. Do you think the commander-in-chief should be doing more than he is?
Yeah. You know, I can assure you that if the Senate passes the legislation that's introduced by Senator Lautenberg and co-sponsored by Senator Menendez, the House passes the legislation of Representative Carolyn McCarthy and me, Rush Holt, and others, the president will sign it. There are a number of pieces to this. Obviously, you know, the gun violence calls for changes in our approach to mental health, for improved enforcement, for public education, but of course it must also include gun safety legislation. There are a number of things we can do. Senator Lautenberg, Representative McCarthy, and I are calling for an end to mail-order ammunition purchases. It should be face-to-face. An end to multi-ammunition clips and assault weapons. Those serve no purpose except to kill a lot of people quickly. This isn't for hunting, this isn't for sportsmen, this isn't for collectors, this is for large-scale killing. So those are things we should do. In the current Congress, I'm pleased to say that I already passed. I shepherded through legislation along with Carolyn McCarthy, the only gun safety legislation to pass in this Congress to strengthen the criminal background checks. But we need to do more. The gun shows are an enormous loophole. And whatever we do in New Jersey has some sensible gun laws. Those laws are undercut by weak laws in other states. A lot of the guns that are used in illegal activities here in New Jersey come from other states. So this needs to be done on a national level. New Jersey, of course, should do everything it can to strengthen the legislation here so we have the safest streets possible. But that's not enough. It has to be done at the federal level.
I'm curious though, Congressman, because Congressman, you're preaching to the choir here, and I know you and Congresswoman McCarthy have been very vocal on this, but if the president pulled you aside and he said, hey, Rush, tell me, will it be a political winner or loser if I come out in front of the American public and say, I'm calling for an assault weapons ban to be reinstated, one that was sunset in 2004. I'm calling here for the end to the loophole that you guys talked about these mass ammo sales that you can do anonymously. And this is specifically what I want for new background checks. Would that cost him the election, or would that actually get him more votes than maybe he'd be surprised to hear?
Oh, no, it wouldn't cost. No, if the president took me aside and asked me that, I think we would be talking on the same page. He understands that, as do I, that our first responsibility is to protect people and then provide as best we can for their welfare. But safety and security is our first responsibility, regardless of what the opinion polls say, regardless of calculated political advantage. It's our responsibility to do that. The president understands that. Furthermore, it's clear from the opinion polls and the political prognosticators and calculators that the public, except for some right-wing, let's call them NRA types, National Rifle Association types, the public gets it. The public doesn't want assault weapons on the street, and nobody understands this better than the police. Sure, this is a winner. It's a political winner, but more important, it's a winner for the people of the country. The president gets that. But Congress has not sent him the legislation.
Well, last
leadership
question
in the House of Representatives and the filibuster group in the Senate are under the sway of the NRA, and that's what this is about today.
Well, last question for me.
Sure
Yep, last question for me,
the public
Congressman.
stands up and does what's right.
The last thing for me is, you've personally lobbied to get votes even across the aisle from Republicans to sign on, and you actually got, as you said, a piece of landmark legislation through. You don't even have to put names on it. Have Republicans said to you, Congressman, listen, I'd love to be up for this, but if I do this, the NRA is going to primary me? Just how influential of a group, maybe even more than the general public knows, are they?
Yes, some have said that to me. The Republicans, even there are no moderate Republicans left. They were all defeated in 2010 by the Tea Party folks. But even those who are not quite so far to the right have told me that they fear a primary from the right. Now, of course, the primaries are over for this year in most states. Still, the effect of the NRA is real. Thanks. Good to talk with you.